of the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walk the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back for another episode. Now, before I get into this episode today, speaking about my predictions on the Elite Eight, first, I would like to say this is my record so far in both the NIT and the NCAA tournament. I'm currently 21-7 in picking games in the NIT. We are on our last 3 games. The NIT semifinal starts next Tuesday. There will be an episode Monday talking about that. And I am 52-8, including the round of 68 where I went 2-2 in the NCAA tournament. So, including the round of 68 is 52-8. Not including the round of 68, I am 50-6. So I've been so happy. This tournament completely blown out both my records last year. Last year went 15-13 in the NIT, went 38-26 in the tournament. So what a huge turnaround this year. Secondly, I perfectly predicted the Elite Eight teams left. I had Tennessee, Michigan State, Auburn, Houston, Bama, Duke, Florida, Texas Tech. Those are the 8 Those are the 8 I picked prior to the tournament starting. So I'm happy about that as well. But also got to get into the shows that the network has, including the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave every Tuesday and Friday, 7 o'clock to about 8:30ish. Unfazed every Tuesday at 9 o'clock featuring Joe and AJ. 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. We have BWT, Baseball with Teddy. My Tigers took a heartbreaking loss. We rallied back. Could have been up 4-3 heading to the bottom of the ninth, but Manuel Margot did not think he would go home. Got tagged. So ended up losing 8-5 in extras, but we fought. We have Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sport. FFC, fantasy football with Coach Coombs. Again, fantasy football is obviously not here. He's doing off-season talk. Ravens just signed John Harbaugh to a 3-year extension. I know I'm happy. I like it, but my flock brothers, on the other hand, might not like it as much. We have In the Red Corner featuring Tomo, Ricky, and Ty every other Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. They went live this Sunday, so make sure if you check them out next Sunday. Boxing content there. RBO, Real Ballers Only with Vaughn. My Pistons, no Kate Cunningham, beat the Cavs by 11. 5th seed, amazing year. Even more, I thought we'd be good this year. They're doing even better than I projected, so shout out my Pistons. But he's been dropping episodes about the playoffs, so make sure y'all tune in to him. And I believe that is all the shows. Did I forget anybody? Nope. So that's all the shows the network has to offer. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to them as well. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. And you might be wondering, oh, Carl, you got on a different shirt today. What kind of shirt is that? My MSU Big Ten champion shirts, you know what I'm saying? It just came through today. Not today, it came through Thursday. I finally got it on Thursday. I ordered it the day we wanted, but, got it delivered Thursday. So I was going to wear this shirt regardless. Win or lose, I was wearing this shirt. So shout out my boys. We're moving on now. Let's get into the Elite Eight. Now, today, we got 2 games on tap. We have the first game at 6:09, 3-seed Texas Tech versus the number 1 overall seed Florida. Well, not number 1 overall, number 1 seed in the region, Florida. Today, 6:09 on TBS or True TV, whichever one you decide to watch it on. Florida's coming into this one as 6.5-point favorites. Florida coming off of a dominant win against Maryland. Texas Tech coming off of a huge comeback win against Arkansas. Christian Anderson, 2 big threes. Darion Williams, the balls on that guy to be 1-9 and pull that three with that much time left in the second half and nails it is insane. So shout out to Darion Williams, and then JT Toppin was huge in the second half. Overtime, excuse me. And Arkansas wins. We loses. Texas Tech wins. Arkansas lost. DJ Wagner. I know he's gonna be kicking himself, but he had a good game. He had guys open when they was scrambling to get a good shot off, and he took it 1-on-1. Elijah Hawkins played good defense. Texas Tech wins. Now for the game, Texas Tech, led by Elijah Hawkins, 9.3 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 6.4 assists, and 1.6 steals. JT Toppin, 18.2 points per game, 9.3 rebounds, 1.5 blocks. And Darion Williams, 14.8 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 1.2 steals. Now, their X factor to me this week, or today anyway, is going to be Kevin Overton. Kevin Overton has to knock down open three-point shots when they come to him because Florida is going to knock them down. Florida is going to score a lot. So Kevin Overton is my X factor. He's shooting the three at 33.3%, which is funny, but you got to hit the shots when available. Now, for Florida, they're led by Walter Clayton Jr., averaging 17.7 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 1.3 steals. Elijah Martin, 14.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.6 steals. And Will Richard, 13.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 1.6 steals per game. Now, their X factor to me is Denzel Aberdeen. Why? Because he's going to have to score as a guard that's not expected to score. I'm not saying that Carter Knox was not expected to score, but what I am saying is Arkansas did a really good job getting scoring from about everybody. Carter Knox was like unconscious for three Thursday night as well. But they got to get guard play, especially Denzel coming off the bench, I believe. So they got to get scoring from guard play. And we know we're going to get from Walter Clayton, even though he didn't have the greatest game against Maryland. He knocked down big shots. We know we're going to get from Elijah Martin and Will Richard. Denzel is going to have to come along as well, averaging 8 points per game. My pick, Florida. I know y'all have always heard me on this podcast. I love Texas Tech. I love this team. Christian Anderson is so fearless, what she was on Thursday night. This team is so good defensively and they can score, but they're going against a team that can do it better. Florida just does it better. Florida can score with the best of them also while holding you to 60, 70 points. And that's not going to be good for Texas Tech because Texas Tech had a lot of problems with Jonell Davis and Carter Knox, DJ Wagner. They had some issues with Arkansas. Plus, also, Florida has that height as well with Alex Condon. And that was also an issue a little bit with Texas Tech. Arkansas's height with a Vizik and Jonas Adu. Trevon Brazile was more so athleticism, but they had some issues there. I just think Florida is they just outmatched Texas Tech in my opinion. So I'm taking Florida to win this game and move on to the Final Four. Next, we have 2 seed Bama versus 1 seed Duke. Duke comes into this one 6.5 point favorites. Excuse me. This game is at 8:49 on TBS or True TV, whichever you decide. Now, it says 8:49, but it's 30 minutes after the Texas Tech Florida game. Well, they're in a different region, so it might not be. It might be around 8:49. So I'll take that back. But Bama, they're led by All-American Mark Sears, who had a game Thursday night. Bama in general had a game Thursday night, shooting 50% from three while chucking up 53s. Told you, Bama's going to chuck up those threes. They're led by Mark Sears, averaging 19 points per game, 5.1 assists. Grant Nelson, 11.5 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks. And Aiden Holloway, averaging 11.6 points per game, who also had a game on Thursday, chucking up threes and knocking them down at a high rate. Their X factor to me is LeBaron Philon and his scoring ability because Duke plays really good defense. He's averaging 10.4 points per game. They're going to need every point or every basket they can get from him because Duke's really solid defensively. I know they gave up 93 points against Arizona. That game is no indication of how actual good Duke can be defensively. And also Duke, in my opinion, is missing one of their better defenders in Malik Brown. They're not missing him. He's just not playing as many minutes due to injury, which maybe it may change. Oh, also, going back to the Texas Tech game real quick. Chance McMillan, he was out against Arkansas. Again, I don't know if he's playing today. It's early, college news. But Duke, led by Cooper Flag, 19 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.4 steals, and 1.3 blocks. Con Knipple averaging 14.2 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 1 steal, and Tyrese Proctor averaging 12.4 points per game. Their X factor to me is Isaiah Evans, the freshman off the bench who can shoot it with the best of them. His three-point shooting and scoring ability is going to be big against Bama because, like I said, Bama's going to chuck up threes. Isaiah Evans can chuck up the answer. He's shooting 41.9% from three while averaging 7.2 points per game off the bench, and we know he got that confidence. He's going to come in off the bench with that energy. He's the X factor to me. 2 for Duke. But my winner, picked it in my bracket. I'm picking it on my show. Give me Bama to move on to the Final Four. Last year, Bama was so close. They can taste it. They were knocking down threes. It felt like the game Bama was going to win. No matter what UConn did, Bama was going to win. But UConn was UConn last year. And UConn weathered the storm. Stephon Castle, Donovan Clegan and the boys got the W. Duke has players. They have Cooper Flag. They have Man. But can they stop the three-point shooting of Alabama? That is the huge question. Cooper Flag, he does a lot. He had a huge game against Arizona, 30-plus points, getting into the paint, facilitating no-look passes. But Mark Sears, can they stop Mark Sears? Can they – all those bigs that Bama has, Grant Nelson, Clifford Monroe, Diabate. Stevenson's a forward, but, all those guys they have. Can Duke stay out of foul trouble? I don't know. Give me Bama in that three-point shooting to upset Duke and move on to the Final Four. I got a comment from my boy Joe. He said, man, I can't believe all of your teams are still alive. Hey, bro. Can't believe it either. Normally at least 1 or 2 get put down early, but I can't believe it either. But shout out my boy Joe for watching. Next Elite Eight game we go to is Sunday, which ESPN app screwed me over because, your favorite team always gets moved to the top. Wasn't paying attention. It was late at night. It was like 1 a.m. when I wrote this up. So I didn't even realize that it did that. So I had to flip the page. Number 2, Tennessee versus number 1, Houston, who Kelvin Sampson, what a inbound play design. I don't know if he designed that on the fly. I know in the on the commentary they were talking about 10-minute last minute situations. That might have been the play they were talking about where he said you can't install stuff in those moments just then on the spot. So I'm assuming he had that play in his back pocket. What a play nonetheless. They win it against Purdue. They're favored by 3.5 points against Tennessee, 220 on CBS. Now, Tennessee is led by Sakai Ziegler, averaging 13.7 points per game, 7.4 assists, and 2 steals per game, coming off a dominant win against Kentucky. Kentucky was 2-0 against Tennessee on the season. Like I said on my show, man, Tennessee, they remembered that. They remembered that they got swept in the regular season. It's so tough to beat a team 3 times, and Tennessee handled Kentucky. Chaz Lanier, 18.1 points per game, 3.8 rebounds. Igor Milicic Jr., 9.7 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game. Their X factor to me is going to be Felix Okpara and his defense and paint protection, averaging 1.7 blocks per game. I think that's going to be big against Juwan Roberts, who can facilitate the offense and can score for Houston. I think his paint presence is going to be huge. Now, Houston, led by L.J. Cryer, averaging 15.6 points per game. Didn't have the best game last night, but did knock down the big 3 for Houston. Juwan Roberts, 10.9 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, and 1 steal per game. And Emmanuel Sharp, who had a pretty good game, averaging 12.5 points per game, 1.4 steals. I know my X factor for yesterday's game went crazy. Milos Uzon, but it's not him this time. It's actually Joseph Tugler to me and his defense in the paint. Can't allow Tennessee to bully you in the paint, establish that dominance. You got to turn back shots from Zakai Ziegler. If he gets to the cup with Chaz Lanier, I think he's going to be big for Houston in this one. But give me Houston to advance to the Final Four. I think both of these teams are similar. Both of these teams got guard play, guards that can score, guards that can defend. Lanier, Gainey, Zakai for Tennessee. You got LJ, Uzan, Sharp, even Malik Wilson for Houston. I just think it's going to come down to coaching, which both of them have good coaching with Kelvin Sampson and Rick Barnes. I don't know. I think when Houston's healthy, they're just one of the best teams in the country. And I think a healthy Houston beats Tennessee. I just got Houston in this one, man. It's tough to pick this game. I can't argue either way. If you pick Tennessee, I can see it. Tennessee's a really good team. Zakai Ziegler is a good leader. This is last year. They're playing stupendous ball. But so is Houston winning the Big 12 title and regular season championship, playing great ball. It's tough, but ultimately I win Houston. So give me Houston to win this game. Got some comments when we move on to the last game. A lot of people would dislike you for that Bama pick. It is what it is. That can only be me. It can only be me, man. I'm taking Bama. It is what it is. Those Duke fans in the chat, which, speaking of the chat, become a member and join the chats. Those Duke fans in the chat know I'm picking Bama. It is no disrespect to them. It is everything to do with Mark Shears and Nate Oates. This is they made it this far last year and lost to UConn, which was a pretty great team, but they want to make that Final Four and show that Bama might be coming to basketball school. Who knows? But and then great inbounds play. Absolutely. I did not see that coming. He dished it. I want to say to Juwan Roberts. I said, no, we're going to overtime. Juwan gave it back to Milos. I said, oh, he's open. So great play. But last game we got to get into is Michigan State versus Auburn. The game is 5:05 on CBS. Auburn's coming into this game as 5.5-point favorites. Michigan State grind them out game against Ole Miss, was down for majority of the game. I mean, the majority. Didn't even take the lead in the first half. Second half, we might have took the lead with 7 minutes to go for our first lead or something like that. Then Ole Miss takes it right back with a corner three off an inbound play. Sean Padula hitting everything, like I say on this show all the time. Big shot taker, big shot maker. But Jeremy Fears actually, down the stretch, played some good minutes. Cohen Carr, that dunk like he normally does, man. The athleticism, the dunk to go up one, the defense that we played late ball game. MSU pulls out a grind out win, knocking down free throws late in the ball game to beat Ole Miss and move on. While Auburn, first half, missing a bunch of shots. Still up one after missing a bunch of shots and turning the ball over like crazy. Second half, Tahad Pettiford, Denver Jones just took over the game. Tahad Pettiford stepped back, lost Reuben Jones. Where you going? Get that guy a map. Man, it was crazy to watch Tahad and Denver Jones detonate. So Auburn coming into this one. But let's talk about the game. Michigan State, they're led by Jaden Akins. Had a pretty decent game, 12.7 points per game, 3.5 rebounds. Jace Richardson, a phenomenal game. The freshman does it yet again. He's averaging 11.9 points per game, 7.8 points, and 11.9 points per game, And Jackson Kolar averaging 7.8 points per game, 7.5 rebounds. Now, my X factor in this one's going to be Trey Holloman. One, going to have to play some defense on Tahad, that guard play. Secondly, it's leadership on the court. He's huge for us. I think we daggone there go as far as he takes us in terms of leadership. His facilitation, averaging 3.8 assists per game, and his scoring. He's going to have to get to the bucket, get either to the free throw line or make some layups. Averaging 9.3 points per game. He does have a tendency to hit some big shots as well. Auburn, led by Janai Broome, averaging 18.4 points per game, 10.7 rebounds, 2.2 blocks. Chad Baker-Mazara, averaging 12.5 points per game and 1.1 steals. And Tahad Pettiford averaging 11.5 points per game. Their X factor to me is going to be Denver Jones. They're going to have to get scoring from their guard play. That's how you kind of beat Michigan State. If you can get either get guard play or get us in foul trouble or force us to shoot a bunch of threes because, boy, we don't shoot them well. Now, Cohen Carr had a huge three. I think he had 2 huge threes. And, yeah, but we shoot the three at a bad rate. But my winner, it pains me to say it, but I picked them on my bracket, and I picking them on the show. I'm going Auburn. I know I'm wearing the Big Ten shirt. You're an MSU fan. How can you pick a team? I told you on my show, I show no bias, and that includes my team. I think Auburn just scores. If you seen how they detonated yesterday, they're in a close game with Michigan, going back and forth. Out of sudden, out of nowhere, 10-point lead. Out of nowhere, Tahad Pettiford just catches fire. That's what Auburn can do, and that's what makes me nervous. I've been saying it from the jump. Auburn's a team that can win it all. They're a team I don't want to face or I don't want to see. So I just think Auburn's really good. Auburn can score with the best of them. They play really good defense. Janai Broome is very active. Dylan Caldwell, really good defender down low. And they got guys who, if they catch fire, it's hard to put them out. So if they start raining threes and we need to hit some shots to answer or, they get out in transition just like we get out in transition and get buckets, it's going to be a long night. So I am picking Auburn to win this. Unfortunately, this is where my run stops for the MSU Spartans. We're playing with house money, in my opinion, at this point. So, yeah, this one, it hurts to say. Now, that's all I have for y'all today. I do, unfortunately, have to go to work, so I will be going to work. But hopefully that kills time before the games tonight. We're nearing the end of the tournament, near the end of the bracket challenge for anybody in the chat. Again, winner comes on CTC. You know, get to talk his trash or whatever you want to do with his time on CTC. Just do you. But again, yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. He said, I know this is the only time you hope you're wrong. Yeah, absolutely. I hope I'm wrong. Absolutely. But that's all I have for y'all today. And until Monday, yeah, because I will be going over the NIT semifinals. Until Monday, I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.